Good morning, Taste Buds. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein. Do you have a toaster oven? Do you use it for anything other than toast? Well, today I'll show you that your toaster oven can be much more nimble than just a horizontal toaster. Today on SoFlo Taste.
This is South Florida. It's where I live and work. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein. South Florida is more than sun, sand, and sea. It's a lifestyle of fashion, sound, culture, and of course, food. Food with taste from all over the world. Join me as we celebrate the food of South Florida
And the people who love it.
Join me as we experience SoFlo Taste.
Good morning, I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein. Welcome to SoFlo Taste and welcome to the Goya Kitchen here at JA World in Coconut Creek. Do you have a toaster oven? Well, if you don't, I need to tell you a toaster oven is not just a horizontal slice toaster. And if you do have a toaster oven, I need to tell you a toaster oven is not just a horizontal slice toaster. Today I thought it would be fun to give you, those of you, of course, that have toaster ovens, and those of you who don't, some great recipes for this versatile countertop appliance. So let's get cooking. I'm gonna make you kind of a broiled crab and corn delicious thingamajiggy. And I'm gonna make it all in here because I do not like to broil in my oven. I have a lot, I clean my oven all the time. It takes me a long time to get it hot. So this is so much faster. So let's go ahead and start with a velouté. And a velouté is a mother sauce, by the way. And the only difference between a velouté and a bechamel is that the velouté uses stock and a bechamel uses milk. We're gonna start out with some butter and let that melt a little bit. Then we're gonna add some flour. And hopefully I've got the right amounts, which are exactly the same of butter and flour. And just start mixing that together. I'm actually gonna toast the baguette first, and then we're gonna broil the top. That's what I love about this thing, is I can use it for all kinds of different things. So to start out, I'm gonna toast my baguette. Okay. All right, so while the baguette is toasting, because we need it to be nice and crisp before we layer over the crab and corn velouté over the top of it and make a delicious kind of a melty toast, if you will. This will come together in a roux, and we are looking for a nice blonde roux. Not cooking too much, we're getting the slightest nuttiness, but not overly nutty, because the darker you get, the stronger it becomes, and that's not what we're looking for. All right, at the same time, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of some sweet onions as well as some corn. And what's gonna happen is the onion and the corn are gonna cook into the velouté, making kind of a corn velouté. And I was thinking you could either puree it or you can keep them whole, which I'm gonna do because I love those little bits of corn in here. All right. The stock is hot, so we're gonna go ahead and start pouring it into what's now a roux with transparent onions and partially cooked corn. So we're gonna ladle it in until we get to our desired thickness. I'm gonna go ahead and just start seasoning it very lightly with some salt and pepper. If you wanted to, you can add a little cayenne for a little bit of heat. I'm gonna keep it nice and mellow for now. All right, I brought it up to a boil, now I've lowered it, and it's already beautifully thick. Add a little more stock, keep mixing. We're gonna add the crab right at the last minute to just warm it through, and then we're gonna use our toaster oven for all the good it's got. So right now, obviously, we're just toasting the baguette. We're not looking for a lot of color, but what it does better than my oven does is broiling. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and season it just a little bit more, and really beautifully and creamy at this point. It's like a nice thick chowder at this point. Gorgeous. And that's what we're looking for. Now we're gonna add our crab. We have beautiful lump crab meat that I'll be adding to this. And I'm not gonna be shy about it. I'm gonna add a good amount in there and fold that in, or just mix. The more you mix, the more the crab breaks apart and gives you little tiny pieces, where I'm looking for that big, delicious chunk. Oh, toast is ready. Great. Thank you. All right. So beautiful. Just lightly toasted. That's what I was looking for. And now we're going to take our corn and crab velouté and spoon it right over the top. This just smells so good. So pretty. It just makes me think of summer. And then we're gonna crumble a little bit of queso fresco right over the top. And now I'm gonna put it into the toaster oven to broil. And we'll get the top really nice and crisp. So let's choose to broil. And let's set it. Okay, we're gonna let our toast velouté get all nice and brown and gorgeous. I'm gonna make an herb salad. Come right back and let's see how this all comes out.
For more information on today's show, or to see a previous episode, or just to ask me a question, please go to our website, SoFloTaste.com. It's your one-stop shop for everything SoFlo Taste.
Come back to the Goya Kitchen at J.A. World, Michelle, and the food. This is SoFlo Taste.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste, as I give you recipes that are perfect for your toaster oven. It's said that William Hadaway built the first oven toaster, or what we now know as the toaster oven, way back in 1910 for his client, the Westinghouse Corporation. Too bad he didn't build it for himself, because if he had, Hadaway would be a household name and not Westinghouse. Now back to my toaster oven. All right. Let's take a look. Oh, yes, we are broiled. We are beautiful. Oh, this is just so pretty. This is just gorgeous. All right, so let's, I think all I have to do is slide this on a plate. So I took tarragon, dill, and parsley and made a little salad out of it. I added a little bit of lemon juice and olive oil, and all we have to do is place it right over on the top. I personally would eat this, it's kind of like a bruschetta. I would eat it with a fork and a knife, but look how gorgeous this is. Everything is broiled, it's gorgeously golden. The velouté is caramelized, as has a little bit of the corn and the crab. Yum. Let's move on to a delicious main course idea using a toaster oven. The reason why I think this is just so interesting, and the reason why I wanted to do a show about using a toaster oven, is you don't have to take the time to heat up your oven, you don't have to heat up your whole house. It's so quick and easy and simple, especially if cooking 2 to 4 to 6 people. It doesn't really matter, it's extremely versatile. So I decided to use a really big, beautiful piece of salmon to cook this. To me, this would be enough for easily for 2 people. It's at least 12 to 14 ounce piece of salmon. I got that salmon, by the way, from Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, and it's just, they have absolutely beautiful, beautiful fish. So let's go ahead and take that. I've got a little bit of smoked bacon that I'm going to place right over and a little bit around the salmon. I've got these little grape tomatoes that are heirloom, cut in half, which I'll place upright all the way around as well. I love this one pan dinner. I've got fennel, one of my favorite things on earth. We can use this later for garnish. And then for the dish, I want to bake the fennel. So I'm basically just going to slice it into a little bit thicker than I normally would. I love to shave it on a mandolin, but nice big pieces of fennel is just delicious when you roast. The sweetness really comes out, and fennel and salmon just are so beautiful together. So we'll do lovely slices of the fennel with the salmon. Let's spread these all over the place. A little bit on, a little bit around, just like so. And then I've got some fresh thyme sprigs. You know what? I want to show you a trick. So you take a fork, and it's actually great for kind of picking thyme leaves, and you just run the fork down, and it's a great way to get all the leaves off of the sprigs. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so we've got the leaves, and then we'll take a little bit of fresh rosemary, like so. Let's go ahead and chop this up. And as you can see, this is all aromatic, right? The fennel, the rosemary, the thyme, even the bacon is aromatic. Because salmon itself is a little bit of an oily fish. A lot of people find it to be a little fishy, so you always want to cook things around it and with it that will take away from that oiliness. Well, bacon's oily too, right? But it definitely takes away the flavor of the fishy, of the fishiness. Okay. So some chopped herb, sprinkle that on and around. This is so pretty. And then let's take a little bit of extra virgin oil, just a little. It's really just for the veggies and the tomato. Some Molten salt right over the top and around. And then finally black pepper. All right, I personally hate overcooked salmon, so I'm gonna cook this as high as I can. Let's see, I wonder if I broil it. No, I think I'm gonna bake it. So let's do roast. Oh, roast is good, but I need a higher temperature. So let's roast it at 425. I think that'll be really nice. We're gonna check that out and see if that's a good one. All right, I'm gonna check this beautiful thing in about 6 minutes because I really don't want to overcook it, but I really want everything around it to get nice and roasty. So check right back and we will check out the salmon together in my lovely little toaster oven. This is fun, this is easy. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste, all about toaster oven show. I'm excited. The salmon smells and looks delicious. Check this out, everybody. That's really just a meal in itself. All right, so as you can see, the salmon has cooked beautifully. It's still juicy. I personally like mine at about a medium rare, but I know most people like theirs fully cooked. I'm just going to push all this delicious juices and fennel and gorgeous crisp bacon and tomatoes onto the salmon. And don't forget about all that good juiciness. Oh, so yummy. Let's do a final little drizzle of oil over the top and just a squeeze of lemon, maybe one for garnish. And then remember I told you about the fennel and leaving the tops for garnish and to finish with, and this just gives it a gorgeous little presentation. So moving on, what do you think of when you think of chocolate dessert? I think of flourless chocolate cake, which is funny because it has a little bit of flourless. So let's just call it a molten lava cake. Delicious, not hard at all. Let's go ahead and jump right into the recipe. So here in a bain-marie, which means hot water on the bottom, not touching the bowl has butter and delicious chocolate, bittersweet chocolate, not unsweetened, but bittersweet chocolate. All right, we're gonna take some whole eggs and egg yolks, sugar, and a pinch of salt, and only 2 tablespoons of flour, which can be, by the way, gluten-free. The ramekins, they're just buttered completely. These kind of work like a souffle in that it does definitely rise and stay very creamy on the inside. So we are gonna take a mixer and we're gonna combine the yolks and the eggs, the salt, the sugar, and begin to mix until they become nice and pale. So while your chocolate and butter begin to melt, using a rubber spatula and being careful because it is rather warm in this area, just try to gently combine the two together. So this is what we're looking for. The butter has finally melted, and as you can see, the chocolate is just following suit, just a little bit more, and you don't want to overheat it, but you do need all of it to melt. All right, I'm going to shut my heat off as I mix just the last couple of pieces together. All right, so slowly I'll add the butter and chocolate mixture to the eggs. Last thing we do is add the 2 tablespoons of flour in there just to bring it together, and that's it. Now we're going to distribute the batter into our ramekins. Evenly. Just push down a little, get rid of any holes or bubbles, even out just a little bit, and we're all set to bake. So these should take about 10 to 12 minutes in our toaster oven. We are set at 450 degrees. Come right back, we'll see how we do.
Chef Michelle will be right back. Stay tuned for SoFlo Home Project and me, Elena Capra, next.
Welcome back to our toaster oven show. I think our chocolate molten cakes are ready. They smell ready. They look pretty ready. I'm pretty excited. I've never made one in a toaster oven, so this is kind of new for me. All right, so here's the test, right? You put one and you put a plate on top, and then really carefully, because it's really hot, using a towel, try to slide it back here. I'm either going to make a mess or this is going to work. I'll say a little bit of both. And then flip it over. So usually, or normally, I like to add a little bit of powdered sugar onto the molten cake. Let's face it, whipped cream is great too, as is a little bit of ice cream on the top. But I think we should cut into it. Do I look happy? How close in can you get? Can you say lava? Yes! We have lava. Okay, I'm in love with my toaster oven. I have to tell you, I don't need to use an oven anymore. Did you know that toaster oven on your kitchen counter was as versatile as this? I hope that you never look at it the same way again. I want to thank you so much for watching. I love our time together. Next week, I'm putting the squeeze on some sandwiches. I'll be making paninis, those luscious, warm, melty, pressed sandwiches. And I'll give you recipes for some of my favorites, so please be here. Now let's check in with the talented Elena Capra from SoFlo Home Project. Good morning, Elena. What are you up to today?
Hi, Michelle. Good morning. So when it comes to selecting furniture for your home, there is so much to consider, from fabrics to finishes to function. Coming up on SoFlo Home Project, we have expert tips that'll have you decorating your home like a pro in no time.
Thank you, Elena. We'll be watching. So, Taste Buds, thanks again for watching. Please be smart, be safe, and be vaccinated. I'll see you next week. Goodbye and very good taste. Woohoo! I got Molten. A toast to the toaster.